What's in a name? Well, it can hold history, mana, identity. But what if a name is lost in translation? Then that error is enshrined in more than 150 years of bad habit and in some cases modern day prejudice. That's the reality for many Māori names, place names in Otago, itself an Anglicised Te Reo name. So is it time to right these historical wrongs? Our Otago Southland reporter Timothy Brown reports.
Kura or something like that.
Te Reo. Tokarau. Toharu. Te Kourau.
Te Kohuraru. No.
They're attempting to say Te Kohuro. If it sounds like they're struggling, it's because they are. The place they are referring to is called Kurau, the home of Richie McCaw. Like many places in Otago, Kurau started as a best attempt by settlers to pronounce a Māori name. But these best attempts were anglicised, and through history have descended into words bearing no resemblance to English or modern Te Reo. Many locals didn't even realise Kurau had Māori links. But it's not an isolated case, as Waihola, Wakatipu, Napara and even Otago itself show. So how did these errors arise?
I guess there's layers upon layers of corruption, if you like, of the language, and give a bit of have a bit of empathy for the early settlers who were trying to get their head around some of these nuances of the language, having not come across the Polynesian languages before. It's not a stretch to understand how Otago becomes Otago.
That's Te Runanga or Otago representative Tahu Pōtiki. While he has sympathy for the historical errors of Pakeha, he says now, with a modern standardised Te Reo alphabet, it's time to begin correcting them.
I think it's, the time's come. There's no reason why we shouldn't be adhering to an orthographic convention.
That begs the question how and where to start. One answer may lie in the example of Whakatipu. The lake, which lends its name to the basin surrounding Queenstown, has long been spelled Wakatipu, the local dialect causing issues for early settlers. But the addition of the H, something which caused so much angst in Whanganui, is already creeping into use with the Department of Conservation's Whakatipu Wildlife Trust utilising the correct spelling without issue. Even Queenstown Lake's Mayor, Jim Bolt, supports a transition to the correct orthography over time. So how does Waitaki District Mayor Gary Kircher feel about correcting historical Te Reo errors such as Kurau?
I think over time, we are getting this evolution of recognition and of acceptance that, there's an alternative there. But, I think it would be a mistake to just try and foist that, in a very short time frame onto all of the community.
Mr. Kircher says for many, conventions such as Kurau are so ingrained it's impossible to imagine changing. But Waitaki locals told Checkpoint it is education and fear, not recent history, which prevents them.
I would have a go so long as everyone realised that I was having a go, and I wouldn't be perfect first time.
Right, so there are nerves around judgment for getting it wrong.
More the fact I don't want to offend anyone by getting it wrong.
Dunedin Mayor and Local Government New Zealand President Dave Cull says he is supportive of recognising traditional Te Reo names, and he wants iwi to lead that conversation. He says acceptance and use of the language is far greater today than it was even a decade ago, and that will continue to evolve.
A number of ways that Te Reo Māori will be incorporated and normalised and celebrated. And it'll happen at schools, it'll happen in political speeches, it'll happen all over the place. And I think that we'll find that in 5 to 10 years, that will be a totally different situation.
So with an appetite for change and support from local Māori, has the time come to resign historical errors to the past? Kei o tākou aho, mō te hōtaka o te ahi nei, ko Timothy Brown tēnei.